Peace and blessings, y'all. It's Lisa Moore, aka Punisher, aka Lash for Yahuwah. I'm making this video in response to a series of videos that were made earlier that included the 2 Google Hangouts that we had. I don't think I went to the first one, but the last 2 I attended, and we ended up on the topic of relationships and how do you deal with someone who may not be quite on your level, meaning you are seeing things and you're trying to evolve or raise your consciousness, or however you want to put it, and your partner's not wanting to, or maybe is fighting you on it, or maybe is belittling you. How do you deal with that? And we kind of talked about the Illuminati and different things like that. From that conversation, we had some things said during the Google Hangout, and then afterwards some things were stated, and there was a response to the things stated. Now, I was about to say that I ain't gonna play this game. It's not a game necessarily. I guess maybe people aren't using names to be respectful, or I don't know, because this is something that's on the internet and anybody can see it. So I guess I'll follow suit and be respectful. But people that I'm speaking of know who they are, and we all know one another, the ones that this pertains to. So let me give my take on this. First and foremost, I'm a person who really, truly, and thoroughly only states as fact what I know. And I have very specific definitions of most words, because I feel like on this planet, people have been born into different circumstances, they've learned different things, they've heard different things. So your definition of one thing might be completely different from mine. So when I say I know something, I'm comparing it to believing it. Meaning, I can believe that, let's say I'm a child and my parent tells me the moon's made out of cheese. Well, let's take that back. The moon's made out of moon rocks. I'm going to believe my parent. Why? Because one, I've not traveled to the moon, not placed my hands on it myself, and experienced what the moon is created of, or made of, or is composed of. And let's say I get older and I actually travel to the moon, I put my hand to the ground, scoop up some moon substance, and I find out that the moon is actually made out of moon rocks. I don't know, what did I say first? I said cheese. But whatever. I can find out for myself what it's made out of. Now I know. Because, my parent, I believe what they said. Why? Because I don't have my own experience. I am accepting your statement. Now, I could probably go a lot further with that. Matter of fact, I know I can. I could say in different languages. I might say cheese. You might say, and I have no clue what Spanish word is for cheese, but let's say it's agaguala. So you could look at a triangle piece, block of a orange substance, and say aguagala, and I could say that's cheese, but guess what? We're talking about the same thing. So we're agreeing that this is cheese. Now in English, the language is cheese, but in Spanish it's aguagala. My point is, we all have different perceptions of things. We all have different experiences, and to belittle another person's experience is crazy to me, because at the end of the day, like I said, I have belief and I have knowledge. Belief means I accept your statements. This doesn't mean I know. I have personal, intimate experience with what you're saying. And as usual, I take my kind of experience and definitions from the Bible. Not just the English translation, but the original language and what the words actually mean based on lexicons and concordances. So, and what I found is those meanings are way deeper than usually what we think of in English. So, when I look at the word no in the Bible, I find it funny that the word no, the way they translate the word no, is actually the same word that they use for sex. But to know something is the same. They use the same word that they use for having sexual intercourse between man and female. When Mary said, "I have not known a man," that same word they use in other scriptures is talking about having gnosis or knowing something. So, and it's like the same root word basically. You have to break it down. Because if you look at it right now, you'll be like, that's not the same word. But you have to break it down to the root word. And the root word is where the word originated from, the meaning. So, to have gnosis means to have intimate personal knowledge. It's not something that someone told you. It's something that you have experienced for yourself. And you have gone and you have put your hand to it. You have worked with it. You have molded it. You have felt it. You have seen it. You've tasted it. You've touched it. You know it. Okay? So, this is my first question to call them to keep the names out. I just want to know, how can you say with certainty that one M, and people know who I'm talking about, has not done any work, real, what you call footwork, as far as serving, when the only reason you know this person, is because I introduced you to M via our group on Facebook. Now, from what you're saying, it's clear that you don't know. You only have a supposition. You don't even have a belief, because no one's told you anything about this person. And unless you've really not been paying attention, I'm a little shocked that you can even make the statements that you made. Because as far as giving to another person and actually helping and putting your hand to the plow and actually doing some work, this person has done that via free training sessions. Free. There's been no sitting in the comfort of the home behind the computer doing nothing and talking a bunch of talk. Now, so I'm just shocked. I don't understand where all that's coming from, because that's not been my experience with this person. I've seen nothing but selflessness. Times when that person could have been chilling, eating some food, watching a movie, making love to his woman, kicking it. He has been online training people for free. Whereas when I went to the gym originally, I had to pay $60 for not an hour, but 50 minutes of this training. It wasn't even trained as hard as this person has trained me. So I'm just trying to figure out where you getting that from, because the facts do not support that. So for you to say this person is sitting and not in distress, what's the word? Suffering. Ooh, suffering. That's it. I don't understand. Suffering comes in many forms. Now, I do remember distinctly this person telling you that they had been homeless. Hell, I've been homeless. Hell, I'm homeless now. I sleep somewhere, but I don't actually have my own home. So, I'm not understanding that. You talk about suffering. Have I ever told you my childhood story? Have I ever told you how confused I was, how I cried, how I begged and pleaded for answers to different things? And as far as you saying, you are righteous because you have not retaliated, I haven't retaliated. Retaliated against whom? Harmed whom? It's never been in my heart to say, okay, I'm going to get you back, I'm going to repay you. If anything, I've let myself be a doormat plenty of times because of that mentality. But that doesn't mean I'm out here, getting people back and paying people back and avenging myself. It just means that I know how to stand up for myself and not deal with certain things for too long. So, back to what I was saying, I just don't understand. I mean, have you truly sat and talked with your brothers and sisters? That's who we are. You refer to yourself as God, or a God, or an elder. Boo. You are one of us. You are down here with us. And unless you can prove to me that you're something else, not a human being, that's still going to have to be my belief about you. Notice I didn't say no, sis. I didn't say no. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're made of. I don't know your substance. I don't know what you're capable of. All I'm going by is your fruit. What you have done. What you've said. Your actions. And to find your actions to be not that of a God. A malevolent God, not a benevolent God. Because the believer's both. So, if you're truly wanting to help people, as you stated, I know I stated in the cipher, in the Google Hangout, that your approach is very condescending. And I'm going to keep saying that till it gets through your head. And if it doesn't get through your head, then I just quit talking, because I've learned that once you've said something so many times and they don't want to hear it, let them go. I'm not going to keep trying to convince you. But I'm telling you, if it is truly in your heart to help others, you need to reconsider your approach. Because I'm hot. No, also say I'm highly offended. I don't get offended no more. I'll be like, you can say whatever you want to say, do whatever you want to do. Because at the end of the day, this is my journey, my walk. This is what I have to walk out and do. So, despite your opinion on it, I'm still the one who's going to have to reap what I sow, be it good or bad. And in light of what I hold near and dear, which is scripture, because I don't see scripture as this book of rules and things I gotta follow. Because first of all, the average person that claims they believe in the Bible doesn't even do what the Bible says. So that's why that's not my opinion at all. I see it as a guide. It's a written guide, and there's nothing wrong with looking at it. And you had also stated that M had stated he was discouraging people to read books. He never said that. Now, I'm going to let him speak for himself. What I get from that is, and like I said, I don't know. I'm just going by what I think. But he's saying, don't let that book dictate. First of all, don't let it be of no value to you. If you can read a book and you can't understand it for what it's really truly saying on all levels, it's no use to you. I know people who read that book all the time. They have conduct Bible studies and they sit around, and you still got it wrong. And even when I say they have it wrong, they don't have it wrong, because every experience you have is a building block to getting you to a higher plane. Now, I've read very few books, actually. I might talk a lot of stuff and I might speak on a lot of subjects, but in reality, I've only read a couple of documents. I've read the Bible. I've meditated. I've experienced life, and I've prayed and asked for things. That's how I understand what I understand. Because a lot of people expect me to be able to quote different things that I don't know, I have never read. But yet I'm sitting up here talking about the same concepts, and that's why. But let me tell you what I did a long time ago. I realized, and you talk about being submitting, you're not submitting. You're not being humble. To submit means to, and it's in the same vein of being humble. It's not being humble the way you're approaching people, period. And like I said, I recognized not a long time ago, but about 3 years ago, or 4 now, when all this stuff started, that I wasn't there when that damn book was written. I don't have any proof, tangible proof, that this book is not just a farce. I'm talking about the Bible, and hell, the Quran, the Book of the Dead, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, the Emerald Tablets, the Sumerian Tablets. I wasn't there when those things were chiseled. Matter of fact, you know what? I haven't even seen the damn things with my own eyes. So for me to say, to base my whole life off of that, and I say, oh, this is the truth. I've read, okay, let me go back. I've read the Gnostic Gospels, the Gospel of Thomas, the Essene Gospels. That's things that I've read. The Book of Jasher, the Book of Enoch. I've gotten into those. So I guess I have read a lot of books. I read it, and I like reading, so kind of underestimate how much I've read. But at the end of the day, I still wouldn't know those things were penned. They're just stories. Now, how do I make those things come alive? How do I know them? How do I know that they're the truth? I experience them on some level. So what I ask, because, I've been through enough. Oh my goodness, I might not have been in the world for 40 years, God, but I've been here and I've had a heart. First of all, from childhood too, I have wanted to know the right thing to do. When we speak of righteousness, righteousness is a path. It's not something you spring forth and you come into instantaneously. If you want to go by the book, let's read the book. The book speaks of a path. It doesn't speak of an instantaneous attainment to where you are righteous and perfect. And I was speaking to my sister earlier today about being ripe. Nothing springs forth ripe or mature or perfect. If you want to be righteous, if you want to be mature, if you want to be perfect, go through the growing pains. If there's anything to learn from life, you have to go through the process. Now, you've said that you've suffered in your life and that you had no one. That's not true, because you have yourself. There's no such thing as having no one. And I'll be the first person to complain. I ain't got nobody. I'm tired of being by myself. I say it all the time. But you know what? That's my physical. But my spiritual self is crying out saying, you got me. Let's get together. We can do some things. So, I'm not sure where the disconnect is coming with this whole subject, period. But like I said, I have absolutely wanted to know the right way to go. I'd love to hear your definition of righteous, because I don't see righteousness coming forth from you. I see a condescending person due to some hurt. What hurt that is, I don't know, because I feel like you're very closed off. I've asked you questions point blank, and they were laughed off and ignored. And if we're going to be family, and which we are, I mean, we're all brothers and sisters on this planet. And that's one thing I just want to touch on quickly. I don't know why people sit around. I've had experiences with the astral realm, or whatever you want to call it, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out, these spirit, everything comes from one source. That is apparent to me for the simple fact that science tells you that. And until you can show me something different, that's what I'm going to have to believe, because that's my experience. And if you want to show me something higher or different or greater, feel free. But I see a single egg or a single cell that's sparked by an energy, the sperm, and then it differentiates into different parts of a body: a brain, a heart, lungs, kidneys, liver, skin, all that. So everything I see starts with one and becomes many. Now if you got something else, feel free to share. So even the spirits in the other realms, they came from one source. And yes, I believe there's other life in other dimensions and other planets and other solar systems and all that. Why do I believe that? Because this ain't all there is. I just know, I feel it. It's like just an intuitive feeling. So if going with what I believe, I'm still like, if there's gods higher than me, who's their God? I'm like the aliens you'll see in the movies. They're like, take me to your leader. That's who I want to talk to. Who's at the damn top? Who started all this? So you are under someone else. We're under someone else, per se. Because, there's a lot of people that say God is within and refuse to acknowledge the God without. And I'm not like that. I see God as within and without. And if you go by the Gnostic Gospels, if you go by the Christian, whatever you want to call it, Christian Bible, whatever, it says the kingdom is within. Then you go to the Gnostic Gospel, and he goes a little further. He actually says the kingdom is within you and without you. I believe everything's both. I've had people who say, well, I don't believe Jesus walked in the flesh. He's just an analogy of something within you. You know what I believe? Is both. Why the hell can't it be both? Why can't it be within and without? We're always talking about macrocosm, microcosm. Why can't it be above and below? Why can't it be within and without? And why can't we be traveling back to that oneness? So all the damn spirits floating around here that everybody's wanting to go to the astral realm and talk to, there's nothing wrong with that. But they're still you. They're a part of you. They're still made of the same substance you're made out of. They're just in a different state. You talk about science and states of matter. You got solid, you got liquid, you got water vapor. The spirit's a water vapor. We're solids. Some of us are becoming liquids. The higher you vibrate, that's what the molecules are doing. They're vibrating. They have some heat added to them, and they vibrate. What they do, they change form or physical form, but it's still the same damn H2 and O. They're just farther apart from each other, moving faster. So spirits, okay, you're a spirit. Are you better than me? No. Well, I'm mad at the same stuff. Prove to me it's some other way. Without being fucking condescending. Oops, I'm sorry. Without being condescending. Just talk. If you really have a message for us little poor children, please change the way you're delivering it. Because we are willing to listen to one who has knowledge. Because I firmly believe in listening to other people. But if you keep coming at people the way you are, you're going to get tuned out. It has nothing to do. Nobody's being arrogant. Nobody's being resistant. Not saying you said this, but I feel that's how you're coming across. Like you're thinking that we just don't want to listen and we think we can do something. Creation, maybe that's why I said earlier one of the first things I talked about was defining words. Creation to me, just get the dictionary and look up the word create. It has nothing to do with making something from nothing. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say we can't do. I don't believe I can make something from nothing. I believe I have to work with what's here. But according to how I rearranged those atoms, molecules, that makes up what I'm trying to create. I can have any situation. It could be the same situation. You can give the same situation to 10 different people, and you can get 10 different interpretations thereof and 10 different viewpoints. It happens all the time. So for you to say that one person's pain, because you're totally saying our pain ain't shit. Our pain does not matter. Because you were homeless in Compton and because you slept in boxes, that pain is more so than the person who lived in Beverly Hills and had a walk-in closet with 400 shoes in it. You're telling me their pain means nothing. Loneliness is loneliness. Being lost is being lost. I don't care if you're lost in the forest or if you're lost in the city. You're lost and you're searching. And every damn being on this planet, every damn being in this universe, multiverse, whatever the hell you want to call it, is searching for the same damn thing. That thing we call happiness, which I think is synonymous with peace, which I think is synonymous with shalom. So even the Most High God himself or herself or him herself, however you want to look at it, is searching for the freaking shalom, because that Most High is broke up into many, 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 many parts. That's how I see it. If you have anything to add or any other perspective, it's called let's sit down and talk as equals. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to be told that I'm a child. I've already told myself what and who I am. At the very core, at the end, I'm grown. Right now, I'm growing. And everyone else in existence is too. If you were grown, show me some power. Show me what you have created. You speak of what you've created and what you've done. I haven't seen it. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist. And at the same time, even what people do doesn't necessarily come from the heart. You can do things as a means to just get what you want for a moment. Just an example, a guy pushing up on you because he wants to get in your drawers. He can say all the right things and do all the right things, but at the end of the day, what was his true intent? Just to get to a certain point and then drop off. It's just like I was talking to my sister earlier about, some of these celebrities and stuff who do all this charity work. Now, I'm going to say this, I don't know this for a fact, but this is how it comes across to me. You're really doing the charity work, get a tax write-off. Is that bad or good? I don't believe in bad or good. At the end of the day, if you didn't do the damn charity work, you wouldn't have any money left because taxes would heat it up. But at the same time, were you doing what you did from the goodness of your heart, or were you only doing it to get the tax write-off? But at the same time, you did make all this money. Do you really want the IRS to take it all? So I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, you're a bad person because you did charity work to get the tax write-off. You do what you do. At the end of the day, if I want to make some damn money, I can make some money. That's not my focus in life, though. My focus is to have enough to provide and enough to be able to enjoy my children and do certain things. I want certain things so I can have something to give to someone else. But until you sit down and have a conversation with someone, and then even that one conversation is not enough, you got to spend some time with them and see how they are. And yes, I understand you be talking, oh, I sit and watch people. You need to get off your butt and stop watching. You need to start interacting. Because I don't understand how the one side of your mouth you'll say, oh, I'm trying to help people. But then on the other side you'll say, oh, I'm trying to get away from people. I'm trying to get my healing garden. I'm trying to go here and I'm trying to go there. How is that helping people? What is so repulsive about people that you need to get away from them? Now, perhaps I'm misunderstanding your meaning behind that. And feel free to clear that up. But the only way at this point that I'm going to believe that you're not being malicious with what you're saying, maybe not even knowingly, is for you to humble it down. Actually, humble it up, because the humility needs to come up, not down. It need to come up. Now, I'm saying this because you know a lot of shit. You know a lot of stuff. Heard you speak about it. But like I gave that one scripture, and I believe scripture is just some stuff. It's good advice. Read it and apply it, understand it. Don't just read it and say, oh, it sounds not. No. Dissect it and understand what the hell it's talking about instead of just going around quoting stuff. It talks about knowledge puffing up, but love or charity edifying or building up? Are you trying to build, or are you trying to break people down? What is your true intent? Right now, I don't see your intent being very good because it's not working. So if your intent is to truly help, which is what you stated, that's why you want to do the cipher in the first place, this ain't working. We're people who are in your corner, and you're putting us down. If you know everything, and you've attained this wonderful death, this sweet death that you've attained, leave us be. We're not trying to die. We're trying to live and impart life to others. We might make mistakes along the way. We might need some refinement, some fine-tuning, or whatever. But the intent and the root and the heart of it is love. I'm not feeling no love from you at all. At all. When I first met you on Facebook, like I said, that's all I know of you is Facebook and some videos and things you said. I felt like your intent was good. But now, you've completely changed my perspective of your intent. So, I might have rambled, I might have got off topic, I apologize. But I'm just really, I had to wait until now to even do this, because when I first saw it, I was like, what the hell? I'm like, really? You have totally made a misjudgment on a person. And like I said, you know, I always say things and I add something to it, because seriously, I'm only going by what I see. But what I see could be an illusion. But from what I've seen from this person, M, there's been no sitting on the ass in the comfort of the home behind the computer. I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm not saying you haven't done anything, but damn, what good does it do to belittle someone else's effort or to belittle someone else's pain? I'm not understanding that. So, please, without the condescendingness, and if that's how you have to get your point across, I'm telling you, you lost us. I ain't trying to hit it. I ain't gonna speak for everybody else. I'm not listening to that. It has nothing to do with not want to listen, not want to learn. But I'm not understanding. Your words not building me up at all. Peace.